Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new around here, thanks for stopping by. So the last video of the JT2 that we posted got a lot of interest and a lot of questions regarding it. So we figured we'd make another video answering those questions and showing an in-depth look at a lot of the conversion components of it so you guys can get a better idea of exactly what it is. So let's get started. All right, to give you guys a quick little overview of exactly what this Jeep is, just in case you missed the last video. Essentially, we started with a brand new 2022 Wrangler 392. We bought it right off the lot. It has 80 miles on it right now. And as soon as we got it back, we chopped it in half to make a two-door Gladiator, as you do. So what does that consist of? Well, you take a Gladiator bed, you slap it on there, you add a foot to it, you build all the mounts off the frame to reach that, build some brackets to make the tow hitch work, and then you can come around to the cab. You can square away the back of the cab, make that all work out since the fender flare is no longer pushed right into the cab. Then you make a custom one-piece hardtop, and then you get to go around to the back, make all the electronics work from the blind spot monitoring, the camera, the LED taillights, make all that work with the Wrangler. Then you can go to the inside, make all the electronics work in there, and well, you end up with a 392 two-door Gladiator. Now, I'd say the number one question I got regarding this Jeep is if the hardtop is removable. Now, yes, it is completely removable. There is 6 13mm bolts that run along the backside, very similar to a Gladiator. And then it has the 2 clips along the windshield that you basically just pull down, and then it pops out of the locator pins and it comes off in one piece. Now, that does take 2 people. It is possible with 1 person, but very difficult, I found out myself. So looking at the top of the hardtop, you can see that there is no seam up there. It looks just like it would be from the factory. Now, the way we accomplished that is we took the Freedom panels from the Wrangler, and then we took the back cab section from a Gladiator. We conjoined them all together to make 3 into 1, and now it is just one seamless hardtop. All right, now looking a little closer at the Gladiator, you can see that the hardtop and the doors do come off for that open air experience that you expect out of a Jeep. And then looking at the roll bar, you can see that there's a custom-made leather sleeve that runs along the back, since that part of the roll bar has never existed before. And then behind the seats, you can see that there's a custom-made panel that basically we used the rear panel from a Gladiator and then kind of retrofitted it to be able to fit our own components on it, which would be the cellular antenna, the GPS antenna, the subwoofer, and then everything else that you would normally be in a 4-door Wrangler has now fit behind this panel. All right, now coming into the front of the bed here, you can see that it basically follows the body lines of a Gladiator to exactly what you'd expect. There's no weird transitions or anything. It flows directly into the front of, or the back of the cab, I should say. And then if we come to the back of the cab here, you'd see that this cab corner is completely worked out, and it is complete the whole way through, made with sheet metal, and I'll post a picture of the actual Jeep being worked on, so you can see it's completely metal and it's completely formed to be the correct shape. This here is also a 392 Wrangler, so basically it's the exact same as how the white one started, aside from it just being a different color. Now, I figured this would be a great representation of what we started with. You guys can see right here along this B-pillar, this basically we cut through here, and then we had to rebolster that B-pillar on the bottom, and we did that by tying the entire roll cage into it, so it's super rigid again. And then basically we had to extend the Gladiator back of the cab onto this door jamb back, and then that is how we converted it into that. Now, if we look into the inside, you can see that there's a full roll bar in there. Now, this Jeep is full of parts, and that's because it has a half door option from the factory, which I've never seen. But that is all jammed into the back of this. So I will now go and show you guys the exact cutoff section of that white 392. All right, I am in our cold storage building now, so I apologize for the bad lighting, and also it's just freezing cold in here. But here's the exact cutaway section of our 392 Wrangler. Now, we cut right here along the B-pillar, right here along the roll bar, which is right in front of where the Freedom panels would connect, and then right there, about right in the middle of the rear door. Now this goes to show just how extensive this project was. It's not easy to cut up a brand new Wrangler, but it had to be done to create something that would otherwise not exist. So here are 2 Gladiator beds. Now, this is what we start with. And as you can see, the fender flare on this extends. Here's the front of the bed. here's the fender flare. Now, that's what we kind of aimed out to fix, to extend the bed to 6 foot, but also to fix the fender flare going into the cab, because honestly, it looks kind of stupid. So what we did was we cut the bed right along here, moved it forward a foot, and then added sheet metal through here on both the outside and then the whole inside skin, and that is how we achieved a 6 foot bed. Now, looking back there, you can see that we have a blue hardtop to a Gladiator, and I will show that up a little bit closer now so you guys can kind of see what we start with in terms of the hardtop. All right, so here is our blue hardtop. So this is basically one of the major components that we started with to make the roof. We had our hardtop with the back window in it, and then we had the Freedom panels. We conjoined all 3 of those together, and then we made a mold of it, and now that is just a one-piece hardtop. No more Freedom panels. That is all it is. Nice and simple. Now, another thing that got mentioned a lot in the comments of the previous video is that this is basically a Jeep Scrambler modernized. Now, while it does look a lot like a Jeep Scrambler, one key difference is that the Jeep Scrambler had a 60-inch bed, which is the same size as a traditional Gladiator. Well, this has a full 72-inch, 6-foot bed. So you have a little more room to haul whatever you haul in your Jeep Gladiator. All right, to reiterate a few points from the previous video, the gold accents on this are exclusive to the 392. So we had to find a paint that matched that perfectly, which is easier said than done. And we painted the tow hooks, we painted the back of our logo, and then this big Gladiator that runs along the back is also the same gold accents. Now, looking at the back of the bumper here, you can see we've retained the factory backup sensors. And then if you look at the taillights, they are the LED taillights off of a Gladiator. And we also have the blind spot monitoring in them, which is all completely retained from the original Jeep. All right, you guys, this here JT2 will be rolling across the auction block at Barrett-Jackson Friday, January 26, 2024. And the lot number for it is 1022. Now, if anything changes, that Barrett-Jackson listing will be in the description. And also, if you guys have any inquiries for me, the email will be in the description too. So, in the future, we'll be working on a lot more cool projects like this. So if you guys want to follow along and see them, consider subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one.